Hey, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is T-Money, King of Peace. There you go. We are doing the April 19th and 26th of Impact Wrestling. Let's do this. So starting with the 16th, we go on to the first match. Hold up. Since we know now that head referee official Johnny Bravo, case the name, is in cahoots with Johnny Impact and his wife Taya Valkyrie, it's a scandal as to how many times did he screw over everybody else for Johnny and Taya. He's been in every one of their matches. So while that's still in the works, we have the mixed tag team, which is kind of iffy because we got the Dizzy Hit Squad versus Falaba and Scarlett Bordeaux. And there's only one woman in that match. Ultimately, in this match, we would have... I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to see. Rohit, that's his name. Rohit wanted to get the stink face from Scarlett Bordeaux, and she tells him to close his eyes. He does, and all he gets is a big Samoan's ass in Falaba. Like, no! And because all he did, he had his eyes closed, and he's like filling up that ass. He's like,
Falaba is Japan. Bro, Falaba is Japan.
Yeah, but he's Samoan style. You gotta get down to it. Doesn't change the fact that he's Samoan style. He's from Japan, but he represents Samoan. Because Hawaii and Japan actually are not that far apart. You can go by boat if you want to risk it. That's how close they are. And next up, we would have, once again, the Rascals fighting the Moose. Diz versus the Moose, and with Trey and Wentz by his side. And Diz gets the win on the Moose. And he ain't happy. He is not happy. In the back, we also have Kiera Hogan confronts Rosemary on who is to blame for Bunny getting taken, Allie. And it's just a confrontation where Rosemary is choking the hell out of Kiera Hogan. In other news, we have Tessa Blanchard being a royal entitled brat. She actually goes to Gail Kim's husband, who's famous on Food Channel. What's his name?
What's his name? He'll come back to me.
Yep.
He also has his own talk show.
Yep. In which case, and game show.
Or Robert Arwen.
Yep. She goes to his restaurant to confront him.
He'll have a game show. He has a talk show.
I thought he had a game show. When she tries to confront him in the restaurant, he's not there. She freaking does so many terrible things. First to the customers by throwing water into someone who thought that it was his blind date. She eats chicken off of somebody else's plate and spits it right back in there. She goes to the kitchen to mess with the guy doing the dishes and throws all his clean silverware into the floor, kicks him and says he's fired. She messes with the head cook there and threatens to sue him because of the fact that he's holding a cutting knife. It's just a regular cutting knife. It don't even have a sharp edge on the pointing end.
Well, actually, I read, but I don't watch Impact anymore, that she was looking for Robert.
Yeah. But she found a head kitchen chef there in his place when he's not there. So then she goes and throws all the vegetables that he was cutting onto his clean wardrobe. I'm like, you dang it. Then the manager comes in, gets really upset, and she throws a bowl of soup on his head. All of this is to send a message to Gail Kim's husband to send to Gail Kim. Later, we would have an interview with Gail Kim asking how does she feel about this. She's on the phone with her husband and saying that they're not going to press charges because all it does is not going to teach her a lesson. So she's going to teach a lesson to her at Rebellion. Yeah, get the phone. That's that Tessa Blanchard, man. Somebody needs to kick her ass bad. I hope it's Gail Kim. Okay, let me see. Next we had Madman Fulton with Sami Callihan in his corner versus Tommy Dreamer. Thanks to the interference of Sami Callihan, Tommy Dreamer ended up losing. God damn. And insult to injury, we would also have the rest of OVE coming in, attacking Willie Mack, who came to help out Tommy Dreamer, and then Rick Swann came to help out and just watched as Willie Mack gets assaulted and Tombstone right after that power driver, well not the Tombstone power driver, Cactus Jack power driver into Rick Swann by Sami Callihan. Next we have,
that movie was banned from WWE.
We have the Queen Madison Rayne versus Knockouts champion Taya Valkyrie in a non-titles match. She tried to worm her right out of there, saying that sorry, this ain't gonna happen, and she ended up at the ring bell ring after Madison punched the hell out of her. Sadly, what? No, Madison won. Madison won thanks to the interference of Jordan Grace on the outside. And then we hear confirmation that Brian Cage is arguing with head official Don Callis on commentary and asks him, "What are you gonna do?" So he goes to the head guy, John. They're all just moving each other to the next guy who's higher up in the freaking business. Damn. So none of them want to deal with Brian Cage. So the plan is, thanks to Lance Storm showing up, saying that you needed to act more professional to Brian Cage. He says, "You need to act professional?" "Yes." "Okay then. What about him? What about Storm?" He's like, yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put Lance Storm as the special guest referee at Rebellion. So he can be professional. Because that's what, look at his face. He's like, "I don't want to deal with Storm. I don't want to deal with Cage." He says, "I don't know what to deal with Cage. Let Storm deal with it." Next, we would have a tag team title match with the champions, the Lucha Brothers, versus Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake. Sadly, thanks to the teamwork of the Lucha Brothers being victorious, Eli Drake goes heel once again on Eddie Edwards, punching him from behind after hugging him, etc., and taking Kenny the Kendo Stick. After that, also, we would have LAX jumping the Lucha Brothers. And it ended up in a brawl that didn't see the continuation of who was remained standing on that. So that would be it for this on the 19th, where we'll be moving on to the 26th of April for Impact Wrestling. Be right back. And we are back. I just recently watched this, so here we go. The night starts off with a confrontation with Eli Drake in the ring with not only the Kenny the Kendo Stick belonging of Eddie Edwards, he has a microphone, the regular kind, on a stick. Like, what the hell? Why would you have it on a stick? He goes, "Mikey the Mic." What the fuck? Ultimately, Eddie Edwards runs in there while he's talking and just beats him the living hell out of him with Kenny the Kendo Stick. Even goes to throw it to him while he's outside the ring. Eli Drake catches it and catches a suicide dive from Eddie Edwards. Not even a match, just straight up brawl. Taya Valkyrie attacks Jordan Grace. Why did I say? While she was doing a bench press session. ultimately hitting her with a dumbbell, and then placing a, what do you call it? Those big circle ring weights that you put on top of the things like that?
The weight.
Yeah, it's a type of weight. She lays it there and then puts a DDT into her face, into that weight. All that, I don't know if it's steel or concrete covered in rubber. I've seen the inside of certain weights at high school, and I was like, there's rocks in here. Is that concrete? We also have Moose secretly inviting all three members of the Rascals, wondering who the hell sent these notes then? If you didn't do it, and I didn't do it, then who did it? It would be Moose ultimately jumping them with the help of the two Canadians. The North, as they're called. First match of the night. Ace Austin versus Aiden Prince. Ace Austin gets the victory and then, in bad sportsmanship, attacks Aiden Prince, and a Canadian destroyer, Petey Williams, comes in to defend him. Ultimately, Ace Prince gets away for another day. Okay. Promo. Flashback. Second match, Rosemary versus the Undead Maid of Horror. Su Young's lackey, basically. It would be none other than, of course, Rosemary winning the match in Horror showing, because of the fact that when she gets to 1, 2, 3, Su Young is right there at the 3, trying to, I guess, get her bridesmaid to get back up. And it didn't work. And she's just staring there, challenging Su Young to get in the ring. And she does not. The next thing that happens, and we are left with questions as to how this is going to work. The same caller that she had for Dark Alley before her, they killed her off in the story. And she went to AEW, All Elite Wrestling. She put the chain and the collar on that corpse bride and officially took her away and claimed her as her own. So what the hell is Rosemary going to do with the corpse bride? I mean, undead maid of honor.
I'm sure she got some ideas.
Mm-hmm. We then have Johnny Impact talking with the Lucha Brothers. And the Lucha Brothers are talking in Spanish the whole time, not telling Impact, because you got subtitles, thank goodness, that they don't need no leader because they are the greatest tag team on the planet, the Lucha Brothers. And he says, hey, that's fine, as long as we get the work done. And he's like, I don't understand a lick of Spanish, but as long as we get the work done. He then tells Johnny Bravo, former referee, I'm guessing, to hand him some of Johnny's shades. Alright.
See y'all guys Wednesday.
Right.
See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
We have third match of the night, Killer Cross versus Willie Mack. Ultimately, Willie Mack passes out from the straitjacket submission chokehold. Sorry to say. That was one good of a match, though. He put it to him. Willie Mack put all that kicking, stuttering to him, and still wasn't enough. Rick Swann goes to the OVE compound. What the hell's up with all these compounds? The Hardy compound, the OVE compound, the Diener compound. What the fuck? It's a sad little talk about Rick Swann stating to wanting to know where Sami Callihan is. He's banging on the door saying that you say you're my brother, but you ain't acting like one. He even goes so far as to say that when Sami Callihan's mother died, he traveled across states just to be with him. It's like he forgot about that. After he decided to leave, Sami Callihan comes out, drinks some beer, spits on the grass, and slams the door. So that's going to be an interesting match at Rebellion. I haven't seen it yet. I got it on my phone already. I got to see it. I'm just running through the list here. It's talking about all the promos for the match. RVD is happy to state that he has his eyes on Rick Swann to fight for the X Division title because he thinks that's going to be fun to do. He even says that he might want to fight Brian Cage because he's a swole dude. He's going to be interesting to fight. And seeing the X Division and doing all sorts of moves that were inspired by RVD. He's saying he wants to fight. He wants to fight. We then have this segment of Johnny Impact calling out his dear friend Lance Storm from I think it was called Training Camp W something W.
Yeah, Lance Storm's training camp.
Mm-hmm. That's his credit. Thank you. You reminded me of that. Thank you. That is. You knew. I did. I forgot.
Because it's in his hometown, Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
They go in there to state that he's going to be on their side in the match, and he states, "Nope, I am not." So when Taya Valkyrie smacks him, you see Johnny trying to go for a strike, and he gets dodged and super kicked. And everybody is in shock. Johnny Bravo and Taya Valkyrie are just standing there knowing that they don't got his... He is not picking sides. He's going to call it down the middle. Dang it.
Because Lance Storm is a legend. And he's a former Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
And WWE Tag Team Champion. WCW United States Champion, WCW Tag Team Champion, and he's been champion in ECW too.
There you go. And ECW Tag Team Champion. They mentioned that.
Yeah, and he's been part of he knows
6-time.
Yeah, he's been part of he's also been tag team champions with Chris Jericho and Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and he's been tag team champions in WWE with Christian, Lance Storm, and William Regal.
All right. Good. Hurry. We got to end this video. Okay. There we go. It would be the last match of the night. Johnny Impact and the Lucha Brothers versus... with Johnny Bravo and Taya Valkyrie in the corner versus Brian Cage and LAX with Conan in their corner. Okay. Ultimately, I would want to skip through it, but I knew this match was going to be good, so I kind of skipped a little bit at a time to when they're like laying down or just kind of whatever doing this. I forgot these three know each other in 3 brands. One, you got Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., and Johnny Mundo in Lucha Underground, AAA, and now in Impact Wrestling. These guys know each other inside and out. Their tag team was insanely good, despite how the attitude. They were just doing all sorts of moves in unison, in freaking chains. It was like, damn, they're not giving these guys a chance to breathe. They're not letting Cage breathe. They let LAX breathe. And then LAX and Cage do their own thing. It was like, damn. And then Taya Valkyrie got Johnny Bravo right when Brian Cage was about to get the win. Johnny Bravo pulls the ref out of the wing, and Taya Valkyrie is beating up the freaking ref. You know she's going to get penalty for that. She's going to be fined for that. Ultimately, in that match, they are just kicking the hell out of each other. Hell, they got ladders, chairs in there, no tables, but they're whipping each other. They're kicking, hitting each other. Like, God damn! Brian Cage is getting hit by a chair while pouring on Phoenix's head. I was about to say mask, but he's pouring on the head. And here comes his brother. Bam! Ow! Ultimately, it would be Brian Cage using the X Factor slam into Johnny. Here comes the ref, and we got 1, 2, 3. Winner, LAX and Brian Cage. And Conan was looking at that, seeing what Taya Valkyrie was doing, and the commentator said it. Conan gave Taya Valkyrie her chance in Mexican wrestling. So it was like, those two have history. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be good for Rebellion. And we just hit the 20-minute mark. Well, let's end this, my brother. First up, a shout out to our boys, Xavier Hill and Mike Henry. As always, a link to their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below. I thought I said Facebook. Meh. YouTube. And a shout out to Renee, Farrell, Andre, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. That's it in your videos, people. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and hit that sorry, I was doing it like I was doing my thing. Let's do it together, bro. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down button and hit that subscribe button if you like the content, and hit that notification bell for the next Heaven Monsters podcast. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Yeah, Rebellion will be next time.